Good evening, I'm back. I'm here to show you another method for showing a model when dividing fractions and whole numbers or fractions and fractions. This is actually a model using a tape diagram, and I actually think this is the easier of the different models that you can use. I did put a special note in here. I apologize for my line. I got carried away there for a second. My special note is this. This model is easier to draw if you rewrite the division equation as a multiplication equation. Now, when I say that, we're not going to use a reciprocal. A reciprocal is used to solve for an answer. In this instance, we're just going to rewrite it. So just to give a quick example before I actually get to the problem, if I had a division equation that was 6 divided by 3, and that equaled x, what I want to do is take this, and x is my variable, my unknown, what I'm trying to solve for. What I want to do is change this and just rewrite it as a multiplication statement. So I could take my divisor and multiply it by my quotient, which is x, to get my dividend, which would be 6. All right? So keeping that in mind, I want to do that because the multiplication is easier to draw. It's a little bit more direct than actually the division is. So here's my problem. So I have 4 divided by 2/3, and that equals, and I think it's important, we need to put an unknown there, a variable. That's going to equal x. And remember, I want to rewrite this as multiplication. So let's make a note. Rewrite as multiplication. I'm just going to abbreviate multiplication. So I want to take my divisor, 2/3. I'm going to multiply that times my quotient, which is x, and that's going to equal 4. So what we try to teach the kids now is to interpret what this means. So just a quick interpretation of this, and I'll put it below it in parentheses. When you think about this, what this actually says is that 2/3 of a number, which is unknown, x, is 4. So I have 2/3 of some unknown value, and I have 4. So when I go to sketch this, I'm going to use a rectangle again. And if I use my rectangle, what I actually am going to do is work my way right across my sentence here. So I have 2/3. So I'm going to create 2/3. I'll shade it in. I need to label it. So I have 0/3, 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. Now, I have 2/3 of a number. I have no clue what that number is. So the thing is, what I can do is I can make a bracket that comes down around this, and we'll just identify what that number is using our variable, and that unknown is x. So I have 2/3 of x, my unknown. And my 2/3, the value of it is, it's 4. So if I come up here, because I have 2/3 and I make my bracket across, my 2/3 is 4. Now this is something the kids struggle with. When you look at this bracket here, I have 4 and I'm dividing it into how many boxes? Into my 2/3. So I think it's helpful to teach them, and we've been doing this in class, it's helpful to teach them to draw the arrow. They're a little reluctant to that, but we can also write the division statement, which is what we should write, which is 4 divided by 2. And that we should actually know. That's mental math. 4 divided by 2, because we're breaking 4 into 2 places, we have 2. We have another 2. Since our drawing is proportional as best that we can, each of these thirds should be of equal value, so the one that we're missing should be another 2. So when you go to look at what our unknown is, if we follow our bracket, we're going to need to add all of these, or we could multiply. So if I come down here, 2 times, since I have 3 groups of them, 3, is going to equal my unknown, which is x. So 2 times 3 is going to be 6, which is my unknown value of x. And there you have a tape diagram.